Yo, Culture Confederates, happy Friday. So it's another weekly Weird World News episode for you, and I had a great birthday yesterday, turned 48. It was just one of those picture-perfect days. Well, the day started out kind of gray, cloudy. We had a good thunderstorm the night before. But by the end of the day, it was just spot on, just perfect. Went out for a bike ride, had pork and lobster bisque and chocolate cake and ice cream for dessert. I kept asking myself, how the hell did I make it this far? Especially with all the insanity we have going on in the world, as you'll see in this episode here. So let's get to this, our weekly Weird World News episode, and thank you again for watching, subscribing, being a part of this thing called the Culture Confederacy. As you know, I absolutely love doing this channel, and I would not be here without you guys. That's the honest to God truth. So thank you again for supporting this thing called the Culture Confederacy. So let's get to this. Woman really upset husband would not pick her up at the airport. She's telling her husband to grow up. This is over at Fox News. And this surrounds a Reddit post. You know Reddit, the echo chamber. And people were debating, well, the whole thing was that their times are going to be a little bit off with her time being picked up at the airport, and they usually take Uber, and he wanted her to meet her at the hotel, but they couldn't decide on what they wanted to do. So it says here, viral Reddit post has commentators divided on the attitudes and actions of a sparring couple who have been traveling for both business and pleasure, and were unable to agree on protocol for airport travel. So now it's protocol between husband and wife here. A man asked others in his post if he was wrong for asking my wife to meet me at the hotel instead of picking her up from the airport. He said, the pair were traveling, but I arrived in the city a week earlier for work. I've been staying in how do you say it? Airbnb? I can't ever say it. And once she gets here, we're moving into a hotel together for the rest of the trip. So they can't decide on what to do, and she's telling him to grow up. That's over at Fox News. And did you hear about the trashy party in Colombia? Bogota, Colombia. Is that how you say it? Dozens of Colombian waste pickers inundated Bogota's iconic Bolivar Square with about 15 tons of recyclable goods Tuesday to protest decreasing income and tougher conditions for scavengers. Now, they collect trash from homes, factories, office buildings, and sell it to local recycling plants. The demonstrations were organized by 14 waste picker associations in Bogota. There, I think I said it right. A city where approximately 20,000 scavengers work long hours gathering items like plastic bottles, scrap metal, cardboard, etc. And so about 100 of these waste workers now, these waste pickers, gathered, and some pretend to swim in between the mounds of trash. It's over at WTOP News. And did you hear about the Michigan bear that for 2 years was wandering around the woods with a lid around its neck? The bear first turned up on a trail camera as a cub in 2023 in the northern Lower Peninsula. After that, the Department of Natural Resources was on the lookout for the elusive animal with a hard plastic lid around the neck, according to authorities. The bear appeared again on a camera in late May, still wearing the barrel lid, and the DNR responded by setting a cylindrical trap and luring him inside the trap. So the bear was immobilized with an injection, and the lid was cut off within minutes on June 3rd. Beware of bears wandering around the woods with lids on their head. And we have a lawyer who dresses up like Mary Poppins. Well, pardon me, she's being called the Mary Poppins lawyer, and she dresses up like she's from the 1800s, the Victorian era. I mean, it's down to the T here. The clothes, the makeup, the hair, you name it. Oregon's Adelaide Beeman White is winding back the clock on haute couture by dressing like she stepped out of a time machine from the late 19th century. Now, she's 27 years old, and instead of wearing the normal suit you would wear if you're a lawyer, especially a female lawyer, well, she's an associate attorney. She wears a handmade long skirt with puff sleeves, a feathered hat, and even a parasol, parodying the style of the 1800s Victorian era. This according to Oregon Live. She says, quote, I'm very stuck solidly in about 1893 to 1898. So we have a trashy 1893 party between what's going on in Colombia with these workers and this lady dressing up, this lawyer dressing up like she's from the 1800s. I love that period because the clothing is the best. According to Fox News, man was caught on security destroying a crystal Van Gogh chair. Now, the video shows a tourist damaging Nicola Bola's Van Gogh chair at the, well, it's covered in Swarovski crystals, blah, 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 at the Palazzo Mafia Museum in Verona, Italy. So you have that going on. And finally, the best, I've saved the best for last here. Over at the AP, leaders of Orgasmic Meditation Women's Wellness Company, OneTaste, there's a name for you, convicted in forced labor trial. And they've got a picture of these women. They look like they're from Sex and the City. Sex and the City gone wrong. So it says here, the leaders of a sex-focused women's wellness company that promoted orgasmic meditation have been convicted of federal forced labor charges. Oh! A Brooklyn jury on Monday found Nicole Dadone, founder of OneTaste Inc., and Rachel Sherwitz, the California-based company's former sales director, guilty after deliberating for less than 2 days following a 5-week trial. Now, the two face up to 20 years in prison when sentenced. Prosecutors have argued the two women ran a years-long scheme that groomed adherents, many of them victims of sexual trauma, to do their bidding. The people who were involved with this were asked to engage in questionable acts, especially with potential clients. Prosecutors said OneTaste leaders also didn't pay promised earnings to the members turned workers and even forced some of them to take out new credit cards to continue taking the company's courses. Ouch! Ouch! I would have left right then and there. You want me to do what? And you want me to take out a credit card? I'm out of here. See you later. So that is the news out there, the weekly world news episode for this week. Maybe I've had too much cake and ice cream. I don't know. As you know, we do these in one take. They are what they are. But thank you for being with me. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, if you did, there you go. If you did, you know what to do. Do what you did that you know that I did that you do. Did we do it? Yeah. So, all in one take today. Boy, I haven't had enough coffee. Maybe I've had too much coffee. I don't know. So at any rate, I'll catch you next time. Thanks for being with me. Again, we do these in one take. They are what they are. I think that gives it more flavor, a little more flavorful take to the video. That's what I'm trying to say. But at any rate, y'all have a great Friday. God bless us, thank God, the United States, and I'll catch you next time. Take care.